So can you talk to me about what led you to propose this monument?
I just felt since we were in a pandemic and we had lost so many, I'm going to say innocent lives due to basically a silent killer. I just thought that we needed to make a memorial of that. You know, a lot of people didn't know that this was even coming. Some people um, got it by just being at the wrong place at the wrong time. And so I just thought that, with the first responders having to go in, the nurses, the doctors having to work extra, the fire department, responding to calls, the police department still responding to calls, everybody's responding to calls. And you never know when you get to the scene if that silent killer is there or not. And then the people who did pass, I just think that we should do something to give the family some type of brighter look of saying at least they remembered my mother, my father, my grandfather, my uncle, my cousin, my son, something like that. And I think that we're in a position where we can actually do it and have it.
Have you been able to talk to some of the people that you represent who maybe have lost a loved one to COVID-19 about this proposed monument? And if so, like, what is their reaction then?
Most people that I talk to love the idea. Well, most people are glad that I came up with this idea, and they're happy about it. I have a few that said, "Well, you're wasting money doing that," but if they had a loved one that was lost, they would be as grateful as well.
And can you tell me about where the money will be coming from for this proposed monument? I believe in what I've read, it will cost $75,000 roughly.
Well, it will probably be a lot less than that. But when I brought it to the table, I knew that some of the commissioners would probably want to add their opinion or their suggestions to it as well. So I didn't want to have to go back and say, well, we need to increase the money because you added this and added that. I wanted to put a number in so that we have a budget, but we'll work to stay up under that budget.
Can you tell me again where or the ideas that you guys are already throwing around for what the monument could look like?
Okay, it would look like something like marble or granite, with everyone named from Caddo Parish that died in 2020, and maybe even have like a silhouette of some first responders, like a nurse, doctor, firefighter, police officer, at the top, and then those names, and basically say lost to COVID-19 in 2020.
Do you already have an artist rendition of something?
No, I imagine I can get one pretty soon, but I just hadn't done that. I was waiting to see everybody's opinion, and then try to capture all of those and then give it to someone to try to do a rendition of it.
And where would you like for the monument to be placed?
I wanted it to be downtown, like in the on the riverfront. Um, I think that would be a good spot for tourists and also for families to go and the calmness of the water. I mean, the red it rolls, but at the same time, I think that it would be better, in a spot that people can actually go to and not have to worry about being congested as well.
Like potentially where like the Christmas tree was put this past year?
Either that or somewhere where the Barnwell Center used to be, where the aquarium is, or even further down Clive Fan. Um, I'm open pretty much as long as it's somewhere that's visible, and when people come in town, they want to go by and see it.
If it is approved, how soon do you think it would possibly be made?
Well, will then be into the hands of the artists, and then the company that will be doing the granite or mobile work. So I would say it should be done before the year is out.
And then today at 3:30, there's the COVID-19 Memorial Commission, I want to say, that's meeting.
Committee, yes.
Committee, thank you. And can you tell me what you guys will be discussing, and also how long that committee has been a thing?
Okay, so we basically I formed this committee from our last meeting. They wanted it to go to a committee, so I decided to send it to this committee. It's an ad hoc committee once we finish talking about it, then that committee will go away. But basically today we'll talk about one, do we want to do it or not? Two, what would it look like? What things that we want to put on it? And then three, maybe a determination of where it should go.
And today marks the 1 year anniversary of the first COVID-19 patient in Louisiana. This Thursday marks the first case in Caddo Parish. Can you just reflect on this past year?
Well, it was personal to me as well because I ended up getting COVID-19 in December. And I spent Christmas in a little corner where the rest of my family was in the rest of the house. So, it did, I had a lot of the symptoms, and, it's something that, somebody doesn't really want to go through twice. At least I don't want to. But um, this year has been a very, very, well, this past year has been very, very shocking to know that some of the people that you talk to one day and find out within a couple of weeks or a month that, there's a history, a lengthy sickness, like, you can get accustomed to, but to just get sick and, now you're gone, that just wasn't unheard of, and there's no treatment for it. So with the vaccine, that's new hope.
Okay, and then is there anything I didn't ask that you would like to add?
I just think that sometimes we should take the lead in doing some things. There are some other cities that are thinking about doing a COVID-19 memorial. There's a country in South America that's actually doing a monument for COVID-19. New York is talking about doing some in Hart's Island. And so, we lost some people, we lost some loved ones. Let's show this as a sign to show the citizens of Caddo Parish that, we're grieving just like you are because of the lost ones that have passed. If someone who has had COVID-19 and they had a bad case of it, they understand, the ideal behind it because they were lucky enough to come on the other side and make it through the sickness.